Matthew the clerk, I got some feedback last week from the venerable Dr. Silverman that he didn't understand the 3 T's and 5 U's joke that I was doing for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that nobody understands it, basically, right? Even though it's genius. So I had to tell him, this is how Matthieu spells his name. Matthiiu. And he was like, that is weird.
Forgot the E.
And so there. So
the E.
I've been vindicated by a professional. So I'm going back to that joke. I'm going back to it.
Oh, man. That's so 220, man. We put that behind us.
It's so genius, though.
We put it behind us.
And if you don't, then I'm going to go for the de Klerk with its weird capitals and a space.
But you can't make fun of my last name.
I can't?
No, that's not PC.
Watch me. Oh, really? Oh, that's terrible. All right, well, listen. We are here trying something slightly new that's so secret we can't even talk about it. But we are here basically to talk about EP Monthly. This is the March edition, 2021, and we're going to anchor to this EP Monthly. And we're starting, as we always do, with Night Shift. Once again, I'm missing my Dr. Plaster here, but he'll have to call me and tell me he's fine. But this one actually is great. It's from William Sullivan, who's also I think he's a senior editor here. And it's called Breaking Guidelines. And I thought it was good. I thought it was like I don't know. There are times when you need to break the guidelines, I guess is what it's basically saying.
I thought about this long time ago when, you weren't allowed to go in to see your family members if they had COVID, right? It was no one's allowed.
Throw your cell phone in the sink, that kind of stuff.
And yeah, I understand why. I'm not, I get it. Like we're trying to control a pandemic. But I remember thinking distinctly, if my mom got COVID and was in an ICU, I'd be like, sorry, guys, I'm signing her out AMA.
Yeah.
Like she's coming home.
That's funny you said that.
To die.
I thought the same thing at the beginning.
There's no way I'm letting my mom die by herself. And I would have pulled strings. I would have made a shitstorm.
Nobody from the public should listen to that. Nobody from the public should going to get people storming the hospital. But I said the same thing in my head. I'm like, I'm going to tell them, bring me a piece of paper. I'm going to write a document that says, I shall not sue you if I get COVID and die. I'm going in there. So you're going to have to remove me. And it's going to be really awful. And here's all liability and all my things can go to you if I die. And I'm going in to see my mom. And I don't know. So anyway,
or I figured if it was my wife, I was like, well, I'm moving in with her. I'll be in here as long as she's in here. I won't leave the room.
Think about it in a different pandemic universe, which could be, your kid. If that were happening, I'd be like set up another ventilator, bro, because I'm going in. There's no chance. But this is a good one.
It's a tough one because I think this is something we're going to be looking back on and being like, we understand the science as to why we did this, but did we miss the mark on having people die alone? And I don't have the answer. I know my personal answer, but the big picture answer, I don't have that one yet. And I think we'll be discussing it for years to come.
I would say that if you guys heard that glitch, that was my child looking for his audiobook while I record this because everybody's in Zoom school. But yes, I agree with you, and it strikes me to the deepest spot. I was talking to somebody actually about vaccines and what vaccines have done, and I came up with this spontaneously, but I'm like, that the vaccines have basically erased thousands and thousands and millions and millions of core, rip your guts out, heart-wrenching suicidal death in like kids that used to happen. If you go to Philadelphia and you look around all the graveyards, it's like every other person's 5 or 7 years old. And that's the power of these things, is like unspeakable horrors have been avoided in this kind of stuff. So so get a vaccine, for God's sake.